So welcome to our watch list. We have lots of really good trading pairs. The pairs that we trade day in, day out, week by week, things like US30 and NASDAQ. We trade things like gold commodities, cable fiber. We analyze the dollar index as well. We are currently sat at around $27,000 profit across 2 firms and 8 trading accounts. So you're going to get sight of that. You're going to get sight of all the trade setups that we take and follow throughout the week. We've also had our first payout of the year, so $4,750, I believe, which was submitted last Friday. So plenty more coming this week. I think we've got about 3 or 4 payouts lined up already. We're looking to obviously grow that account. We're going to be following US30, NASDAQ during market open, market close, and various different types of strategy as well. So if you are interested and you like what you see, you can kind of understand the logic behind the way we trade, and you want to learn more, check out the description below. There's lots more information on recommendations and other products and services that we offer as well. So enjoy the video and let us know what you think in the comments section below. So welcome to our weekly watch list video for the week commencing the 6th of the 1st, 2025, the first full trading week in January in the new year of 2025, right? So we're going to run through, we mentioned obviously the profits we had banked so far, our account balance on Top Step, 9.5, 2.8, 1.1 and 2.7, so I think about 16,500 here. And we also have our other accounts, so again using futures, 3.3, we've got 2.9, so just under 3 there, and then 4.082, so you know about $10,300 on that account as well. So we've got a few payouts coming across both of these platforms, across both of these firms, and we are due a payout very early on into this week because we submitted it Friday. So looking good so far. Depending on how we perform in January is going to determine where we set our targets for February, March, the end of the quarter, and so on and so forth. So you guys are obviously going to get access and sight of all of that during these weekly watch list videos. You're going to see our performance, you're going to see the chair or the pairs that we're trading, and you can kind of follow the story. We set targets based on previous performance, and it's not always something we're looking to achieve straight away. If we set the bar too high, we might strive for that. We might, force trades and so on and so forth. So we've got a complete fresh year. We've got a complete new stance to, what we're looking to do, how we're looking to trade. We're going to bring you along with the journey. So check out the economic calendar for this year, or this week rather. Very quiet on Sunday, obviously, during the kind of Eastern. But as we move into Monday, very busy Eurozone. So you can see a lot of German data here. High impacts very early on at 9 a.m. And then again, Tuesday, Eurozone mostly, with a little bit of US jolt job openings, labour figures coming into play. FOMC minutes on the Thursday, Wednesday. And then we've also got various other, labour figures for the US and NFP being the first Friday of the week. We also have unemployment figures, and we have non-farm payrolls, and also earnings. So a fairly jam-packed week, so we can certainly expect quite a lot of volatility. If we look at the dollar index to start, you can see, generally speaking, we have a very aggressive start to the year, right? We've extended higher. We're looking at the daily time frame. This was Thursday, and then Friday was a little bit bearish, but generally speaking, Tuesday just before New Year's, bullish, and then again New Year's, and then close for the day, and then Thursday, Friday. So obviously a strong start to the year. We're not really too fussed or interested in what we see on the likes of the dollar index thus far. This moment. We've reset all of our, high levels for the year, for, breakout highs, breakout lows. They're all reset. So we trade on confluence. We have things like, breakout highs, breakout lows, yearly lows, all-time highs. We're into a new year, so we can't really use those at the moment. We need to see a bit of data. So, throughout the course of January, let's see where we go. Obviously, markets are very volatile with things like crypto, things like stock indices. And we're going to touch base on all of that. But, as the weeks pass, we're going to start getting into, a bit more zonal play. So until these zones start to form, our whole strategy is based on trading between the zones. And we need to see some of that unfold before we can really jump into these, larger, slower paced swing positions, right? So nothing really to report on the dollar index. We're obviously trading higher. We're breaking out. There was a bit of consolidation here around the the Christmas and New Year period. So again, 8-hour time frame. This date here is 18th of December. So literally that holiday period from close to, you know, past Christmas Day, 31st, here is where we start to break out. And then again, you know, we can see obviously New Year's Day being around here, and then we start to burst. Bit of a correction. Let's see what happens. You know, I'm not really too interested in that. It's more of a confluence type of instrument. We obviously have the US30. So US30, again, really interesting for us. This is going to be a short zone from this 42,700 price. So as close as possible to this zone, we're going to be looking to trade between the zones again with targets around 41,900. So that will be the first setup of the week. Now, that certainly looks attractive with this 4-hour rejection candle. Again, 4-hour time frame, 4-hour rejection. That's really, really good for us. And then we also have things like US100. You know, US100 is something we use in confluence with US30. And as we broke that 21K price, which was around here, we started to kind of extend higher. We broke this supply. We're kind of trading around this supply and around this kind of area here. If we look at the hourly time frame, do we see anything different? I'd certainly say we have quite a nice zone that we could probably start using now, which would probably align and cover all of this stuff if we just tidy this up now to the left. So support, you know, we've got supply here, we've got support, we bounce, we break, we supply, resist, and now we're trading there or thereabouts. So let's see what we can do there. Just give this a bit of a tidy up, and we're still looking to, you know, measure decent take profit targets. So we're talking about this 21,300 price, you know, this zone. You know, we're looking at the 1 hour now. You know, does that give us a good entry? Does the 4 hour, you know, eliminate some of that noise? If we use our zones, close and open, that's where we use and put the top of our zones. This wick is, you know, the area we look to try and, you know, cover with our stop loss. So again, this wick here during recent trade was higher than this one. So again, if we're looking to enter around 21,300, our stop loss needs to cover this previous wick high. So we'll use the lower time frame to try and determine a little bit more about that. If we can get a slightly higher entry, but again, ultimately we need our stops to cover this wick here. Targets, you know, we're probably targeting that 21K again, and then we're also going to look to probably trade around 2,800 to that previous low. And then again, you can see a little, you know, quite scurried kind of climbing markets here as we, you know, come high, come low, come high, come low. And it's a very up and down trend without any real aggressiveness like we can see here. You know, we really sell off and then we pull back, really sell off. It's very much different here. You know, again, this is November time. I can't really comment on that at the moment, you know, without kind of backdating that data. Obviously, it seems like a, you know, a slow-paced consolidation period to the upside, and then we really start to break and see some, you know, typical stock indices play, like from, you know, US30 and NASDAQ. So again, we've got this sell zone here. We've got US100 sell zone as well. We are kind of short bias on these stock indices. So as you can see, we've kind of, you know, that's a weekly, it almost looks quite bullish there, in fact. But, you know, we are starting to kind of exhaust and downtrend and see lower lows and lower highs, right? So if we look at US30, it's a bit more evident. Massive sell-off. We broke this price here. We've retested the underside of it, and now we're looking to see if we can, you know, see that next wave downside. Eventually, you know, we'd be looking for something like this. And again, you know, quite a nice void there where we could look to fill. 40K would be insane. You know, it'd be really interesting if we could see 40K, but, you know, it's a long way away. However, we do see, you know, 1,000-point moves. So, for example, you know, if we look at the top high wick here, all the way down, you've got 1,600 points. So that's almost, you know, 2 of those consecutive days would pretty much fill most of this anyway. And again here, you know, you can see a massive climb within 2 days, 5th of November to the 6th of November, 2,000 points. So, you know, 2,000 plus 600 would pretty much drop us onto, you know, at least this support here as well. So whilst it seems quite far, you know, these moves can certainly really pick up speed, and if you can catch those types of moves, they are the, you know, they're the paydays. They are the ones that, you know, those kind of moves are the reason we, you know, trade stock indices, because if you can catch those, that would almost be like a month worth of gains, and you know, it really takes the pressure off trying to force trades or, you know, identify opportunities and such. So, you know, it's possible, and if we are looking to downtrend, we have had such a, you know, aggressive bull run, so, you know, that is certainly something I'm looking for. We're short bias. With regards to gold, again, we've got some really nice ranges here. So if we look at the daily time frame, and again, remember, trading between the zones, you know, this is what we've got here. We climb, we pull back, we've got a zone indicated. Again, we've got some zones indicated here. You can see how well we're responding. 27.20, you know, that's a really good sell zone. Probably adjust that slightly. And again, we've got this interim zone, 26.65. And again, here we break, we retest and then come back down. And again, we've got a support zone of 2600. So 2600, not quite on the nose. 2600 on the nose is around here, but, you know, just above, we've had some good play here. And again, just shy of here. And again, here, obviously. And then obviously this supply, close and open here. So again, coming up to 26.60, 65, you know, that's a sell zone as well. Going into the lower time frames, again, we're looking for the exact same thing. We're looking to trade short from here or trade long from here. Again, if we can break this zone, the next long position would be 25.60 and we'd simply trade between the zones. Aussie US dollar, we're not going to touch base on these. They're not really too interesting. And again, GJ, EJ, not really too interested either. We obviously have Bitcoin, so as long as we are short of 100k, we are bearish bias, okay? So we've got our sell zone at around 99k, which is where we've kind of traded from previously, very close to 100k there. But that sell-off, you know, played out like poetry, really, really good, and we're back into that zone. We did try and short a couple of times from around 95k, and again, I think 96k, and we got caught on the wrong side of that, but having caught this big move, you know, it kind of, you know, balanced that out, and we ended up slightly profitable, but no doubt we gave, you know, 85%, 90% of our gains away, which is a big shame. But, you know, no risk, no rewards. You've got to be in it to win it. There's no point in just analysing without taking these trades. You know, if we did catch that next move, that would have taken us down to here, and that would have been a completely different story. So, you know, we would have been really, really kind of quids in then. Ethereum, again, you know, we were looking for that sell-off and a bit of consolidation. Again, the same as Bitcoin, you know, we are all-time high price of 4K here, and we've had one attempt sold off, two attempts sold off, and we're kind of coming back up to that zone now. Current price here is a nice interim zone as well. So this is a zone where we could possibly see some short play, and that would look something like this. And the reason being is because that's the area we supported. Then we pulled back, and now we're kind of retesting that. So see it from a swing high to swing low. This is like a bit of a natural, organic kind of correction, a bit of profit taking from those sellers. Maybe a bit of buying kind of coming into play as well. Not entirely sure, but this would be a great zone to potentially sell from, and that would align with you know, stops maybe around, let's say 3,800, and again that's about 170, 165 point stops there. But again, you know, the scope of mileage for this would be around 2,500. Let's say we go to the top of that zone there. That's 2,750, which, you know, is a nice number. 5R. It's all possible. We just need that volume to come back into play. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I did try and cover as much as possible, as quick as possible. I know these videos can be quite tedious, and there's certain pairs that people want to fast forward to. So we've covered stock indices, we've covered commodities like gold, we've had a little look at the likes of crypto, Bitcoin, etc. We've done a recap on our performance. So no doubt, if you are interested, make sure you check out the recommendations in the description of this video, and you're going to get access to our Telegram. You're going to see the brokers we use, props we use. You're going to see you know, other bits and pieces that we can offer as well. But make sure you turn your notifications on if you are interested in following our journey. We post our payouts weekly, we post our performance weekly, and obviously our trade setups with continued updates on those positions as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you on the next one.